casters, my front casters were pretty darn gummed up. You can see it uh, right now. Uh, whenever I'm trying to wheel, I'm just doing regular pushing this wheelchair there, and I don't have any resistance, but there's so much hair that it's causing my wheelchair to stop like that. So what I do is to clean out my casters, then I have to transfer to my chair or transfer to the bed, and that way I don't have to worry about getting pressure sores while I'm working on get the front wheel, the front little wheel casters uh, of my wheelchair. I elevate my feet there with the cushion, with my cushion, uh, that I'm sitting on. So my feet are elevated a little bit in the bed whenever I'm doing the caster cleaning. Um, what I'm going to do is I'm using 2 hex wrenches. Um, I think they're called hex wrenches. I'm not sure, but they're hex. I know that. Um, and what I'm doing, I'm using them on each side to loosen up the the shaft and the screw from the caster, the shaft and the screw from the caster and the fork. You see how gummed up it is? It hardly moves at all. The caster hardly moves at all. So what I'm doing here is I'm using a hex hex wrench, and I get another one there. But what I'm doing is I'm putting the hex wrenches, inserting them into the holes on either side, and then I remove the shaft and the screw. Um, so anyway, I'm using a hex wrench that is just kind of holding the casters for a minute there, and then when I pull the hex wrench out there, and you see the washers from either side of the caster, uh, in between the caster and the fork, um, fall out. But you see that's a bunch of hair. So we got a bunch of dogs in our house, and we have tile, and just I got a ton of hair. This is probably got about 3 months of hair buildup. So it's not like that much hair buildup can be from one day. And I do a lot of things other than in the house. I run around a lot and just going through carpet and other dogs and string and whatever. It all gets in there. But mostly it looks like hair, doesn't it? Well, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, I'm surprised. We have a pug that I think he sheds quite a bit. But so those are my tools right there: the hex wrenches, and the other stuff. So anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm putting the shaft, and I put the shaft through the hole through the fork, and then on the other side of the fork, then I put the washer, and then after the washer, then I put the caster wheel. And if you look there, if you can see, there is another washer in between the caster wheel and the caster fork. So, and this part is kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to put the shaft through there, and then also uh, put the washer in between the caster wheel and the caster fork, and then then put the screw, then run the screw into uh, the shaft. So It's a lot of it's kind of difficult to do that, but and it takes a little bit of time. That's why I'm laying on my belly while I'm doing this, because the whole process, I would say, probably took me about 30 minutes. Um, and each time that I do this, I get a little bit quicker, but it takes a while, and you got to have a little bit of patience whenever you're doing this. What I'm doing is righty tighty, so I'm tightening the wheel and in between the caster forks, and what I'm going to do, I'm tightening the wheel pretty good here with the hex wrenches, and I'm going to try it out. You see, it doesn't really turn that much. It doesn't really turn that good. So what I'm doing is I've tightened it too much. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna loosen the screws, loosen the screw in the shaft, loosen the screws from the shaft on either side, so that I can get some spin. You see, now it's spinning pretty darn good. So I'm pretty happy about that. This is a little bit closer of an angle of the caster spinning. So it's okay. It's not really fast spinning, but it's pretty good compared. It's better than anything's better than having all that hair in there. So anyway, after this, then I'm all done. I cleaned out the hair from my other caster. So I cleaned out the hair from my left caster that was all majorly gummed up, and then I cleaned out the hair from my right caster that was gummed up a little bit. So um, anyway, I'm after I do this transfer to my wheelchair, then actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my cushion and put my cushion underneath me. But you see how I'm wheeling a lot faster. I can let go of the wheels and wheel and move forward pretty decently. So there still is a little bit of pull to the right side, but it's not that bad. So those are the hex wrenches. That's the hair. That's the hair crap that was all the hair crap that was left over. There's one of my washers, and there's a screw, the Phillips screwdriver, just in case that I had. Um, I have one washer that is removed right now, and I'm going to see if that's going to make any difference, but I don't think that it will, as far as the amount of hair that builds up and the